Welcome everybody. You are in the PAX show and tell presentation. I'll be leading this one. If you feel like you've already been here or you're in the wrong one, feel free to sign off or stay and share some more. We'd love to hear all sorts of stuff. To start this call, we kind of want to make it really fun. I know that we've asked people to bring some things. If you didn't bring anything, sharing stories is always welcome, or I'm sure as other people are starting to share, some things might come to mind for you, like, oh, I did that too, or here's how I did that, but a little bit differently, things like that. So to get started, we want to start with our guiding question. I know in other calls we haven't really had time to do that, and we really miss it, and we love that part of the call. So our guiding question for today is, what is one positive thing you've done or accomplished during quarantine? Doesn't necessarily have to be PAX related. If you redid your entire garden, you can share that. If you gave your dog a bath, that's great too. What's just one big awesome thing that you've accomplished during quarantine? And then say your name and your district. Whoever wants to go first. All right, Stella, go ahead.
I'm pretty familiar with Zoom, so I can share on Zoom, and I can navigate through Zoom. We did a Google Hangout meet, because that's how we meet with our staff and stuff and our PLCs. And I was actually navigating through the Google Hangout because they're very different. Zoom and Google Hangout are very different. So I thought that was a celebration that I learned how to navigate and share through Google Hangout.
Great, good job. It's a big accomplishment.
I'll share something. I didn't expect to be here, but but it just so happens that I found something that's a lot of fun, and it's attracted my kids to my Zoom meetings. We can't actually have Zoom classes because not all of the kids have access to the internet, so I've just given them the option to come and meet with me. And one of the things we've been doing is playing Wheel of Fortune using Trivia Maker. And I've got several different Wheel of Fortune games that I've put together with different themes. One of course, is stay at home or quarantine. I think I called it Wheel of Quarantine. I have a Wheel of PAX in development, and also a Wheel of Whatever that's just random. And so every day they want to come and play. So it's been fun.
That's great.
I'll go next. If you've had time to garden or walk a dog or wash a dog, is that what you said? Kenzie, yeah. I'd love to know your secret, because we may be locked up at home, but ain't nobody got time for a garden right now. So, do we have to introduce ourselves? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I can.
I'm Jocelyn Bass. I teach 4th grade at Animus in Farmington. And I think one accomplishment is that my whole grade level has been able to meet with 50% of the grade level online in Zoom, or we use conferences because we have Schoology. But we've been able to do that daily since right after spring break, or right when we went into our lockdown or COVID or whatever. So
Hi, baby.
Can you say hi?
She's gotten so big.
She's so cute.
Is that your binky?
She calls it her night-night.
Take your night-night out and smile.
It's part of Jocelyn.
She looks at us, looks at the night-night. Give me the night-night back.
Oh, there's a smile.
Her show and tell is her binky.
Yeah.
She's very excited about it.
Her baby.
Sorry, I had to use the restroom, but I'm Natalie. I teach 3rd grade at Nijoni Elementary in Shiprock.
And what's one positive thing that you've accomplished or done during your lockdown?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what you guys are answering to. A positive thing
that you've done or accomplished. It doesn't have to be PAX related.
Oh, in life, I was like, okay, I was like, I organized. I mean, like the stuff that you don't get to do, but I just find a lot of joy in it. And we're going to be moving to Farmington actually soon. So I saw Jocelyn Bassier from Farmington. I'm still going to be teaching out here, but we're going to be moving. We have a spot. So this is like the weirdest time, but I have the most time to pack and see things and like figure out what's gonna go with us and what's gonna be donated. So that feels good. Like those accomplishments I'm like holding on to because I got a lot of accomplishments these days.
Oh, that's a great one. Whoever wants to go next.
I guess I will go.
Okay.
I am Diane Foster, and I work with CCSD, and I am the SAT 504 coach and also a PAX partner for the district. So I just kind of go through all 18 schools and work with elementary, middle, and high school. My accomplishment, really, I think it was more or less helping teachers create Zoom accounts and helping them set up classroom instruction. And it was pretty awesome, some things that I've learned because I've always used Google Classroom. And I was, just kind of thought it was fun to teach other teachers how to use that weren't tech savvy. So I didn't think I was, but it just kind of made me feel good because that's what I like to do. I like to train. I like to help teachers. I like to see teachers succeed. And that's kind of what in line of what I do in helping students. So that's really about the only thing that I've done besides going on my sleeping in late marathon. My favorite thing to do. But other than that, just kind of being on I feel like it's more work here than being out there going from school to school. I just miss all the faces at school and the kids coming, especially when I go into the schools where I know the kids that I had previously. And even in the middle school, when I go up there and even walking into high school and seeing these big old tall kids and they're like, hey, Mrs. Foster, I'm like, oh my God, you were my first grade student. So I miss that. Yeah, he's like, hey, Mrs. Foster. It was like, it took me a minute, like, hey, oh, Noah. He's like, he comes over and gives me this big old bear hug. And it's just, it just melts my heart when I have to deal with that, have to see my kids again when they're in high school like that. So I miss teaching. That's one thing I know for sure. I miss teaching, being in the classroom, but I like what I do also. But that was all my accomplishment so far.
It's a great one.
Well, my exciting news, I got married on March 18th.
Congratulations.
So we had to do a quarantine wedding. we were supposed to get married on the 21st, but had to cancel everything because we didn't want people to have to gather. So we went to the courthouse right before it closed and got married, and have been in our room quarantining for a month. Quarantine honeymoon. So that's been an interesting experience.
Probably the best way to be a newlywed. Oh my goodness.
Challenging too. Lots to learn in a new marriage, that's for sure.
You learn a lot real fast.
Yep, exactly.
We're waiting on a couple more. Whoever wants to go next.
Hi, it's Kate.
Hi, Kate.
If you were on this call before, I started a book, my friend Angela, who's just on the last call, she started a book club. We used to have one when we taught together at school, and we kind of just did like a virtual edition, and we had our first halfway point meeting, and that meant that after that meeting I got to finish the book, and I just finished it last night, and it was great, and I'm happy to be at a book club again, or in a book club.
Great.
Nice.
I'll go next.
Okay.
My name is Deb Magaña, and I teach for Santa Fe Public Schools. And I don't have major accomplishments, but there are little things that I have been able to do at home. Like we started a little garden, and then we are doing little paintings, acrylic paintings with my kids. And, just the ability to be home and do some amazing cooking on the weekends and get it ready for the week. Cook on Sunday and get dinners ready for the whole week so I don't have to stress during the week. And I also found out yesterday that I'm going back to the classroom next year. I was the math interventionist for K through third, and next year I'll be back teaching second grade, which is good. It's great news. And other than that, I think that's all I have to share.
Great. Yeah, you must be really excited for that.
I am. And there was a huge budget cut for Santa Fe Public Schools. So I am thankful that I was able to be back that next year I will be having a job and I'll be teaching second grade again.
Great. I think it's Becca and Kristen or Julie or Michelle, whoever wants to go.
Sure, I can.
You want more?
On next.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Becca.
Okay. I'll give it to you. All right. I love you all, by the way. You guys are all beautiful humans, and amazing stuff is happening all the time. I think my main thing right now that I made was my classroom. I'm so proud of it. Like I'll give you like what the kids see. This is our kid view. So we talked about Earth Day yesterday, and we talked about planting seeds. That was a big thing. Using toilet paper rolls. I don't know if you see, like, I got a robot. We make things out of toilet paper rolls because that's important. Like we got all that. Let's do it. Like let's make stuff. And then the other thing was recipes. We're all sharing recipes. So like this is a recipe. I write a recipe and they share a recipe with me. And then up here is where everyone, I have like a daily schedule. I don't think you can see that, but that's okay. Those are my peeps. And then my Toodle board. I got a Toodle board, guys.
Oh, great. Good job, Becca.
I will send you guys a picture.
Awesome.
I know we're not talking about PAX, but personally, like
That's a big
I love
accomplishment.
sending positive messages because I get so much back from people if I'm like, thank you for sending me your love and your stuff, and here's something. And the ones that are up here are the ones that parents don't want me to send them, and that's okay. Like I'm okay with not sending things right now. But the ones that do, so I should have a whole bunch more, but I mail them out and then send stickers, and so they can send them out to their kids or their friends and their family. And yeah.
So what's the rule with your school right now? How many of you are allowed in there? Is it just you, or are there more teachers there?
So you can go into our school. Some of the teachers are going in. I don't feel comfortable because my family lives in Farmington, and I want to go see them, and I just had a nephew who was born in Albuquerque 2 weeks ago, so I want to go see him. So I'm trying to like make sure I'm the best so I can be like best auntie. Yeah.
That's great.
Really created something amazing there. So cool.
I just love your creativity. It's like everywhere you go, every space you show us is so beautiful and decorated and colorful, and just so filled with positivity.
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Hi, Kristen. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Kristen?
Good seeing you too. So actually what I've been doing is on a daily basis, providing special ed services to all my students, starting about 7:30 in the morning. My last child, once his mother gets home from work, she's one of those essential employees. She has the cell phone. And so when she gets home about 11 o'clock at night, I get a chance to talk with my last student of the day. And so one of the accomplishments that I have is just the fact that I'm able to use Messenger, FaceTime, cellular. I only have like 2 or 3 kids who have internet. But we're using at the secondary level a program called Emoto. And I have kids who, when they do get service, they are checking in, and I have an activity every single day, and I call parents and I chat with the kids, do their services, and we're studying Brazil. And there was somebody who bought me a box. It's called Universal Yums, and it contains about 30 snacks, and every day we eat a snack. But I talk to the kids about what the snack is. So we've been talking about like root vegetables one day, tropical fruits another day. And so we're studying actually a country, and we've been doing that all year. And my little PAX leaders, they each take the responsibility of a day when they kind of assist me in the lessons. And so it's actually been really interesting to see the kind of impact that's having with the parents, because parents are sitting in on the lessons. Last week on Thursday, the kids went on a food hunt to find a food in their pantry or kitchen that had a label that was other than English on it. And the kids had to write a response in Emoto or share that with me about what they found and what language they think it was written in. And so every day I have basically Monday through Friday, and sometimes on weekends too, I have contact with my students, which is pretty cool. And like I said, families are being part of, like I'll have a whole family sit up on the couch and talking to me about the topic. So, and it's been fun. Tomorrow's topic is, this was given to them on Monday, which was to learn how to cook something with your family, and then talk about it on Friday, about what you learned. So it's been fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
Kristen, if you need a real live Brazilian, my new husband just got here from Brazil in January.
Are you serious?
You want a video or any words or language, something, or food? We can connect after the call.
Actually,
yeah.
We were talking about Portuguese last week, and so the kids have not heard it. I did play a anthem, the national anthem, and there's words to it, and the kids got to hear it. And so, but that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll send you a message after the call, and we can.
Thank you. That would be great
too.
What a sweet connection.
I haven't figured out the Zoom yet. I need to still learn that, Diane. I need to do an IEP next week, so I need to figure out how to set up a Zoom meeting. So Diane, call me.
Just email me, Kristen. Just
Okay.
email me. We'll set up a time. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
You, me, Julie, anybody else? You go for it, Michelle.
I'm like spacing on the guiding question. Okay, so there have been a couple of like 12-week self-guided courses that have sat on my bookshelf for ages, and during this quarantine time, I have been able to dive into one of them. So really feeling really grateful for that kind of self-exploration guided class that I get to do right now. And I hope that I get to do one more at some point, but I'm 4 weeks into one of my 12-week courses, and I'm really exploring my personal mythology, which I love. So
Nice.
yeah.
Very good.
Awesome. I'll pop in next. It's Julie. That's my husband sneezing in the background. So one of the things that I had mentioned previously, and I apologize if you've heard this before, but is really just getting through like a lot of the home projects that I have not otherwise had a chance to tackle, and just kind of checking things off that list. But more recently, just in the past couple days, actually, some of you guys might know, but I teach yoga in Santa Fe, and I've been very disconnected from students and studios. And just in the past week, I've actually been able to connect to quite a few of my regular students. So that's been really sweet. People are kind of just starting to pop out of the woodwork, and I think kind of like reach back into their communities that were more a part of their lives before this stay-at-home order. So that's just been really sweet connecting again.
Great. Well, I guess that leaves me. My great accomplishment is my husband and I bought a house right before the quarantine hit. It was actually kind of perfect timing because we were out of our old place and already into our new one when everything got shut down. So our big accomplishment was just slowly kind of putting everything away, unloading boxes. And as of last weekend, we finally got out of our last boxes. So it's been really exciting to settle down here. It's been nice to transition with the dogs. Thanks everyone for your claps. It's been really nice here. It feels right. It feels great waking up here every morning. It's nice to be in this place. So
Congratulations.
thank you. And with all of that, I think we can start to move on with our show and tell. Again, for those of you that joined a little bit late, we asked that for this call, somebody bring something to share. We didn't want you to reinvent the wheel and just do something for this call. It's something that you've already been working on, or any kind of stories that you want to share. If you didn't expect to be on this call, or you're kind of feeling a little caught off guard, please by any means share if you want to share a story. And if you need help sharing your screen, if there's something you want to show us on your screen, let us know and we can help guide you through that. So whoever wants to go first, or I will draw sticks.
I can go first if you would like. This is Kristen.
Go ahead.
I actually teach at Nico Middle School and Nash Chidi Elementary. Something that for the show and tell is I had students who I believe they're internalizing the PAX kernels. There was an incident where I had observed a child interacting with their father and an older brother, and it was kind of interesting because I didn't realize there was so much drama going on behind the child who I was using Facebook Messenger with, and I saw the student who's talking to me turn around and he goes, "Give me a moment." And he got up and he went over and utilized two of the kernels in dealing with that altercation between the two family members. And I was so proud of him. I can't even tell you. And just about the way that he talked with them, the suggestions that he had made to them to work it out. And I heard the mother remark about that. It's like, "So did you learn that in class?" And said, "Yeah, it's PAX." And so like I said, I've been able to observe my students and their families. And so I'm getting to see it like in their home, which I had not been in some cases. So I was so proud of them. I can't even tell you. And I've actually had about 5 incidents where that's happened. where I saw the kids actually interacting with family members and using those strategies. So that was, I think, a major accomplishment, because that's one of the things with the social emotional component is they're just not utilizing those kernels at school, but also in their just normal life. So that's
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Great show and tell. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay, so I'm caught off guard. You want to go, Natalie? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, Diane. Mine are quick. They're just docs that I had for a specific student on a SAT. So I'm going to show you our visual schedule.
Great.
So because it seems a lot really extra, and then after looking at it, like now, it's very extra, but it's because the specific student's behavior was like very like beyond what I could possibly do. So I had the parents help me with this. So we talked about how in the classroom, no matter how many conferences and discussions we had about PAX, it just wasn't clicking because he was very impulsive. So he would harm students and all of this. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying everything, but it's not working. So, you know, talk to families and they're like, well, we talked to him and we're taking away things. I'm like, okay, like that's what you decided to do as a consequence because, you know, mine weren't working. So they took away like his tablet or something like that. So for him, you know, like with kids and especially like with us, it feels good when you like move up levels. So in his SAT, it was so involved, but I don't think I would do it again like this, but it says on the far right, level 1, to move up a level, you need to complete this whole game board with green X's. And what I mean by green X's was we made the colors talk about how if he got a green, it would be, yay, you did a great job. If you got a pink, it could be better. Or, oh no, orange means it could be better. So like maybe you weren't listening, but you also like bothered a student, it could be better. The pink is like you straight up like hit homie over here, like why? So like that was how we had to like really show him. So I had to print one every day, but this Monday through Thursday is the same schedule except for Fridays. So we would start it and we had to do it like this because it was like we had to monitor almost a small amount of time because his threshold was only at like 10 minutes. And so it was really challenging. We would have a conference almost after every block of time. So we would come and we would talk, like we would do the reflection part, like how do you think you did? Because he's the one that marked it. So he would say, he would never give himself a green if he like knows he like hit somebody or did something. But I was starting to see like he was understanding that it wasn't that he's being bad, like how he's felt. It was, oh my gosh, I'm hurting someone else, or oh my gosh, I'm not listening. But for him, it was, oh, I'm not gonna get my tablet, you know? And so it's like, I feel like if I didn't have the parents involved with this one, it would have been really hard for me on my own because they didn't believe that he was like this. So this was like a good data tool as we used it in our PAX, our SAT meetings and when I met with mom, because he had to bring this home every day. And that was where at the point we were at, and he had to conference. And the homework was that I would give him a PAX, I'm a PAX leader, and I would have to recognize at least one time in the whole day when he was a PAX leader, and his homework would be to draw in the picture while he's telling it to his family. So they're not seeing if it had a bad day with the pink X's, they're seeing, oh, okay, well, you did a good job in class jobs, and he'll draw the picture, but then also teaching them, because I think there was one time, like, they're old, I didn't give him like dinner, and like we had our SAT coach in that meeting, she was like, whoa, 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 you can't do that. But that's why I had to be sensitive. So I was like, ooh, like if I just send home bad X's, they're gonna take that as the child is bad versus learning how to like manage his own behavior. So, and even this is extra, I'm probably not gonna do this again, but we tried to quantify like how many times he had PAX hands, because that was one of his things, when he did have a good PAX voice and when he responded to quiet. And it was crazy. I was tallying it like all day, and that part became a little crazy. So like reflecting, I would take that part out, because I don't think you want to quantify like when you did the great job. I just want to keep praising it, so it's almost just like a natural thing. But this, it worked. I mean, we did it for a good like 2 months, I think, and you could really just see when he got a full day of green X's, we got emotional, you know, we were like, you did it, you know, like you didn't think you could. And at the very end of his game, it says walk to the bus, because he couldn't handle it. Like we worked so hard, like almost every hour of the day was good, but that walk to the bus, he was like, like he couldn't. But that last green X, he was like, he'd force himself. I'm walking next to him, and then we're just talking. We're like, oh, you did such a great day. Aren't you excited to show? And they're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get my tablet soon. I was like, yeah, you know, like it's all good. Like I saw him completely change just by doing it like this and that. I wanna make it better, but it was, he had a little behavior folder. He kept it beside him. You know, he never really looked. We would meet and go over it. So that was something that I felt really worked, unlike your high spleemers. I don't think every child needs this, but the high ones. So, and then the other one was I adapted a reflection form to make it more PAX-y. So I kind of used this, I only had to use this a few times with some students, but like I would basically sit with them and they had to mark which of the expectation was, you know, what was the expectation in that moment. And then they would write, you know, during reading, I chose to, you know, throw a paper at Johnny, whatever. But like, that's just all I want them to reflect. Like, what did you do? Not that it's emotional, nothing. And then they had to spend that time filling out this chart, and they would just have to write it in or draw me a picture. And this is just to like reframe them, take them out of that whole funk. And like, then if I never really used the second page unless it was like a big deal. And so this was like, the first page is between us. I put it in my like reflection folder, and it's just documents. And I tell them like, this is between us. So I make the whole thing like cross out parent, guardian, because they feel good about that. Like cross that out. We're gonna do this. If I can't handle this, I'm gonna have to ask them. That makes sense, right? And they're like, oh yeah, completely, I'm signing this thing. And then it's really peaceful and it's really chill. And I never had any parents all of a sudden like, why are you doing this? They're like, oh, they've been doing what? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, you know, it happens, you know, trying not to, the kids, I mess up too, it's all good, but also make sure they don't hit so-and-so anymore, because I don't know why. But yeah, those are the ones I had to share.
Both of these are really fantastic. How comfortable are you sharing them with us to share with other people?
Yeah, I'll just send it. Oh, I was gonna ask, is there a place on our Google, like the PAX partner materials for like just dumping like things we've made?
Yeah, we created a folder. I don't know if you have access to edit it, but you can always send it to us and we can add it to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that then.
You send it our way, we'll just plop it right in there, and then everyone that has access to that folder can see it. They won't be able to change it. They won't be able to make any edits on it at all, but they'll be able to see it and print it and figure out a way to use it.
Can you make it so that it's editable? Because mine is very specific. It has like a student's name and stuff, but if they can edit it and like adapt it, maybe it'd be better. Okay.
We could do that too.
So freaking cool. I don't know if you were following all the chats happening while you were presenting that, Natalie, but really like, holy moly, those are some amazing creations. Thank you so much for show and telling.
It's emotional just because I'm like, you know, when you spend time with like one student, I couldn't pay attention to like the rest of the class for like the first like 4 months or something. And then like the minute he starts to change, then I'm like, whoa, I have a whole class again. Because he can sit still and he's not like he was almost like a terror, and the kids would be like this. You know, you don't want kids to like feel like they can't, you know, chill with another kid. So that was like a big one. And now he's home and mom's all like, how did you do it? And I was like, you can do it too. Like it's gonna be a lot of work. And I feel for her, and you know, it's not the same, but he also is by himself. And I was like, you know, this is the best. He can really focus when it's just him, but with all the other kids, he's just like that. So yeah, I was just like really proud of him. So thank you for all that encouragement. I'm just reading it right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Great job. Is there anything else anybody wanted to add or ask, Natalie?
Oh no, I was just going to say I was the one that would go in and do the spleen count for Natalie, and I've seen the change in this child all year, and we were using it for his behavior, and even the principal talked about how, I mean, I kind of, felt sorry for him, and we both did, because he was labeled as the bad kid with, and all the kids labeled him, and nobody wanted to play with him and deal with him. And just seeing Natalie working with him, there was a huge change in him. And even, I think I was in the gym one day talking to one of the teachers in there, and they were talking about how he's starting to change. His behavior has been doing so much better. And I commend Natalie. She's really worked with this kiddo. And the sad part about it is we don't even know whose class he's going to be in next year. And if everything she worked so hard with him is next year, is it going to be the same, And I just commend her, because she did such a wonderful job with him. And I think the behavior piece, instead of sitting in the principal's classroom every single day, I mean, he hardly ever walked in there by mid-year. So that was a huge difference in the PAX. And I think she's one that I've always, used her as like, okay, let me tell you about this child in a third grade student that's in a third grade class that, he's a behavior. We have a SAT on him for behavior, and she's helping him with tier 2, and we're using PAX for tier 2, and it's working. If you guys just put 100% effort, that works. So yeah, I walked in, and I've even seen Nicholas just roll around on the floor, get upset, but he's really clingy with her, and he just wants her to approve everything he's doing. So I've been in there, and I've seen his behavior, and then I've also seen the good side of him and the good things that he's doing, that he tries hard and pleases her. So I've seen both ends of it. So good job, Natalie. But my only share today was just this kind of the same thing with a 5th grade student that one of the teachers is struggling with right now with Zoom. And she was just talking to me about mom, and it wasn't so much the mom, I think the mom is personality, and she's telling her, I can't deal with these 4 boys, and they're fighting, and mom says she doesn't have the patience to work with all 4 kids, and she didn't know what else to do as far as schooling. So I just kind of help her along with some PAX, doing some PAX breaks, and work with mom, talk with mom, see if she can utilize some of this stuff. And she looks at, she says, oh, you know what? I forgot all about PAX. I said, yes, use your mom. You can teach mom to use PAX and let her know some of the strategies that she can use with those boys. Those boys are familiar with PAX, especially your student. If you used it, so your student, she says, oh, I didn't know we could do that. I said, yes. So she said she was going to try it. I haven't gotten a feedback from her yet. So I'm kind of curious to see how it's working now. So I was just going to give her like a couple of weeks to, this was just last week, to see how it works. And I'm going to kind of follow up with her by Monday to see how things are going along with the parent. So kind of that's about it. And I think I might have offered that to a couple other teachers, but other than that, that's really, I feel like with students with the e-learning, I tell Bellamy, I said, I almost feel useless. What am I going to do now? So right now we're working on trying to get ourselves prepared for a presentation with PBIS and trying to get all that presented to the district for next year for especially the middle school wise. So we're still pushing that, and we're working on that right now. So we've been going through some awesome training, the California Coalition. So they have some awesome training through the PBIS piece. And I just thought, wow, I told the guy, I said, this just falls right along with what we're trying to do for the district and where the district's headed with our students. So that's really about all I've been doing. So I think.
You're doing great, Diane. Keep it up.
I'm on that computer 24/7, it seems like.
You're killing it. So noticing time, who wants to go next? I want to make sure that we have time for everybody to share their awesome things that they're doing.
Mine are, hold on. Diane, to piggyback off of you, maybe somebody else should go.
Oh, poor thing. All right, we'll go back to Jocelyn. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. It's been very interesting for me to chase my ELD students, which are English language learners, and work with them. And I got thrown another class, which is, I have now 6th graders. But sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't show up, and sometimes, you know, and I was like trying to wrap myself around these. And I was like thinking, you know, the little that they show up every day, the little I can talk to them, and the little I can ask how they doing and see how they're feeling. And finally, one day, all my 7th graders showed up and they were like, Miss Magana, we're having problems with this open access, which is the platform that Santa Fe Public Schools is using. And they were like all frustrated and they can get in and I cannot turn in my work. So I was like, well, we need to calm down. First, take a deep breath. And, you know, once I come down, I said, I'll try to walk you through. And that's how we spend the half an hour that I'm supposed to do reading or language or whatever. But I was able to get them moving, and now they have access to turn in all their work for different teachers. And, you know, I don't get these emails, oh, such and such is blah, blah, blah. Who knows where is such and such? And now it's more like, have you guys been doing your work? Do you need help? May I please support you with your math or your science or whatever you need to? I'll do that with you. And so that's what I've been working, and I kind of changed my frustration too, in the sense that, you know, if I can just talk to them one day and not see them for the next 2 days, it's okay. I can provide them as much help as I can. And when they need help, they're gonna find me. They always email me, and then I create a Google Hangout, and then I talk to them with whatever they need. So, you know, I had to take those little steps and those little accomplishments every day. And sometimes I was feeling overwhelmed and super saturated in the stuff and stressed out that I couldn't sleep. And I was like, you know what? If it's only one of them every day, then it's only one of them every day. And that's how I had to take it.
Great share. Thank you, Deborah. It's definitely a tough time, but you guys are doing wonderful things. Who wants to go next?
Feels like Jocelyn wanted to share something, but is with baby right now.
She wants to share the baby.
No, I don't really want to share. Want to share other stuff. So I am literally at home alone by myself with her all day, every day. My husband still gets to work. I envy him as he leaves every morning at 6:30. I wish I could be him. So Diane, you know, something that I'm doing in my building that, you know, I know Coop has shared with us are those PAX tools videos for families. And so you were talking about sharing that with your parents, and as I went through them, I just thought it was a gold mine for what season we're in right now and sharing those with families. I've asked the teachers in my building to share those. I've created links and resources and folders for parents. And then I did a kind of like a PAX Tools launch video on Facebook for our families, and my principal gave me access, and so I posted that, and we're posting, you know, I just posted the shared vision, like, so the vision board for the family. But I think, you know, if you haven't looked at those are gold. I would share those. What I wanted to
look
share,
at those.
yeah,
They're really good. But the only thing with me is I have a boundary that I have to not overstep when we have PAX partners. I told her to get with her PAX partner also,
Oh,
because I can't just step into school and overstep my boundaries. If they come to me for a question, I just kind of disseminate information to the PAX partners for each school, because I'm not at the school. I can't really just say, okay, you know, we're going to do this, and then comes back on me with the principal, like, oh, how come you didn't do this or share this, and you know, things like that. So I usually just send it to the PAX partners, and I did share that with her, and I told her, get with your PAX partner, which is Laura Vicente.
Right.
So I told her, you need to get with her. She has all that information for all the parent resources. So I'm thinking that she did. So, and yeah, I wish I could just say, here, I'm emailing you this, but I can't do that. Yeah.
Right, that makes sense. So mine are nothing compared to what we've seen so far, but I figured since I'm here, I'll just share. I actually had a conversation with Kate over the phone a couple weeks ago, because I had no idea where to even start. I knew I needed something. Can I share? Am I good to share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, because I was about to do that. I knew I needed to continue something with my students, so I just whipped up as quick as I could, because I didn't want to think too fancy or too hard and then not do it. I just created an online vision board, and so as you can see, I literally just screenshotted our see, hear, do, and feel more, or feel resources we have, and I just threw it into a Google slide. And so when I'm online with kids every day now, we predict, monitor, and reflect through our lesson. What my team has come to realize is that the work ethic and the quality of work we're getting from kids isn't up to like what we know they're capable of. And we've watched them on like online platforms just kind of blow through their assignments. So what's really good about using this vision board is we can still talk about, you know, hey, we've been working and building this stamina for quality, soft voices, for quality work all year long. So let's make sure, you know, we have that. And as you can see, I've already gone back to it and we've updated it. We've been in this for that long. So we've updated this, and yeah, pretty simple. We talk about it every day. I'm playing good behavior games now too, for like very, very small amount of time. We play for like 10 minutes. We're like up to 10 minutes at a time. And it's gone pretty well. I don't know who I might have shared this with my staff, but I think really or even my team, really what the good behavior games are about right now, it's not so much like managing their behavior or even really like their stop and go pedals in their prefrontal cortex. Like, that's not even really what it's about. I think it's just about the familiarity, knowing that good behavior games and the language we use and the expectations we have, and then the Granny Wacky prizes, because it's really hard to implement a good behavior game virtually or online. You know, when I'm now doing stuff on Zoom, and I have, you know, 30, 40 screens. And so everybody gets really, really, really small. And, you know, I can't spleen them as well as you could in the classroom. You know, your awareness of things is different. So I just do it daily just to help with that, you know, familiarity. And then the second thing I was going to share was I didn't know what to do as far as Granny Wacky prizes. So I brainstormed with Kate a little bit, and then I gave my students an option to come up with their own. And I didn't get as much like feedback as I thought I would, but what I did is I just created a simple little format, and they created their own Granny Wacky prizes and explained. So, and this is spelling, this is not me, this 4th grade, which she should know how to spell toss, but she air toss was one idea, a treasure hunt, which we've done this several times. So I think of a random object and I call it out, and it's, I mean, they just have fun. And I think right now it's really about that enjoyment piece. And so I'll call the object and they're sitting there and they can't go until I count them off. And you'll see them like dodging out of their screen, waiting to go. And so we play treasure hunt. They talked about screen tag. Some of these are a little hard to think about.
Yeah, screen tag. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, I say a random, oh, ouch. I say a random name and a person is it. You know, charades, a drawing contest. We did that today. Another student brought up an app they use, Doozla. I don't know if other teachers are familiar with that. Show and tell guessing. So I've actually done that one where they show something out of their house or close by, and they can't see each other, so they have to like describe it. And I don't know, just getting them involved with using PAX and something that's familiar, something that creates good feelings.
Nicely done.
As far as groups, I've been like, how do I group them? I usually only do 4 groups because I have 4 tables in my room, right? So I'm like, how do I do that? So I literally just took the alphabet. Oh, sorry. I took the alphabet. She's all right. I took the alphabet and I just divided them based on the first letter of their name. And so like group 1 is A through F, I think, or E, I can't remember. And it's just chopped up like that, basically. And so, you know, when it's kind of, I don't know. I don't spleen a whole lot. I don't give a lot of spleens because I can't see a lot, but. So,
incorporating PAX.
Yeah. So anyways, that is what I am doing. And I mean, it's nothing compared. It's very simple, but just
That's
the ways that we're still using PAX. And I know my conversation with Kate was huge. It motivated me. It made me feel like this was manageable. So, you know, I don't mean to like make a lot for Kate to do, but if you have an opportunity to talk with her, like any of the Coop gals, seriously, I just got to talk with Kate one-on-one and that was amazing. And so thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Oh, I love you guys so much. All of you. So sweet.
I know we're